Hello and welcome to the Last Place Fantasy Football Podcast. I am your co-host Josh, along with my co-hosts Ethan and Ryan. Recording this a little late because the first recording got screwed, but we are here to talk about Week 4 and basically everything else. A lot of
Yeah,
things has happened within the last time we have seen y'all, and it has been quite the circus.
Ben Johnson is awful.
Oh yeah, we are also reacting to the
Thursday night
Green Bay,
football.
yeah, Thursday Night
To the
Football.
Green Bay Lions game.
For everyone who has Gibbs, I am so sorry. I don't know why we thought it would be different.
You mean Travis Etienne Part 2?
Travis Etienne, the sequel,
Yep.
uh,
Except it still hurts.
the Church of Etienne 2, running back Boogaloo.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, still hurts.
Pain
And
incarnate. Spain without the S.
oh, capital S.
Just tell me that you hate me to my face. But yeah. Anyways, so really quick recap of week 3. Josh was our winner because of that fat Keenan Allen.
Yep.
Oh, I guess the point totals got deleted, but he was in fact the winner. I got second again, and then Ryan lost that week. I think it was by like 4 points though.
Oh, this is
Yeah, it was.
our highest scoring
Oh,
dream
yeah.
lineup ever, like easily ever. Yeah, because everyone had over 150, and then I just got lucky with Keenan Allen.
Yeah, but with that being said, Dreamline or sorry, big
I,
questions. Big questions
we got
first.
some we got
Yeah,
some
big questions.
big questions here,
We do have
and
questions,
and
especially
I say let's go big questions, and then we'll do uh news and injuries right after it because we got quite a bit that's happened within the last 48 hours, to be quite honest with you. I mean, we talked about week 3. We have an instant reaction of week 4's Thursday night game. But guys, I kind of wanted to play a game of keep trade cut. This is not a variation of kiss Mary kill, but I just want to get a vibe check on all these players because we're 3 weeks in. Either you're holding on to hope or biases are being very confirmed, or and it could be very painful there. But I have about 12 to 15 players that I want to get y'all's opinion on. So we're going to start with quarterbacks. What's the vibe check? Would you keep, trade, or cut Trevor Lawrence right now?
yeah, and it's not that they have to fit into like each can only be one answer, just in general.
In general, because we got some
Yeah.
questions that need to be answered.
I
Yeah,
mean, according to last year was kind of his breakout year after his rookie disaster of a year. But I'd say hold on to him. I mean, he's had a rough start. I mean, nobody's really panicking with Joe Burrow. I mean,
yeah,
I think Trevor Lawrence is safe. I think you sit him on the bench until he actually produces, but I think you keep him. You got to keep him.
yeah.
Uh,
You got to keep doing.
yeah, I think you got to keep him as well. A lot of the issues just seem so self inflicted that it's like, okay, once these get fixed, everything will be fine. It's just if you thought he was going to be like Jalen Hurts of last year and like that's your late round QB steal,
Sorry.
you're very disappointed.
Yeah.
But I think you do have to hold on to him. Um, the next one though might we might have some differing opinions. Keep trade or cut Justin Fields.
I mean, I feel like
Yeah,
he's
go ahead.
almost like a keep for me, just because if you try and trade him, the value is going to be so
Yeah,
bad.
he's not a trade for me. It's really of like, do
Like
you
if you're
want
trying
to
to get
keep?
him, oh, trade
Yeah,
because you'll get a deal for him. But if you have him, he's another one like T-Law that I can see it being a keep, just because you're not getting his value.
yeah, I go trade for him just because you know what the ceiling is. The ceiling is league winning weeks. It's
Yeah,
just my big concern with Fields right now is Chase Daniel did a really good video about it, and it was basically saying how you're not really seeing a lot of the things that helped Justin Fields be really good last year. and it's almost like they're trying to fit him into a box. So it's part scheme and part just not helping Justin. It's actually no, it's 100% scheme. It's not. It's just not playing to Justin Fields' strength yet.
Yeah, I agree with that, Josh. They're trying to kind of fit him into that box. Um, I think there's pieces missing from that Bears offense that are crucial to his success, and that scheme just doesn't really fit him. So it's it's hard to see him succeed. I mean, you've seen him last. I mean, the last year was great for him just because he was practically the running back. I mean, he was the leading rusher there.
Yeah,
So that was why he was such a fantasy success. And that shows how dangerous he is. But as a quarterback, and they're now trying to focus more on the passing ability that he has. It's hard. They're trying to fit him into that box, and he's not going. So I'm a little worried about him. He's my starting
yeah.
quarterback in one of my leagues, and I'm panicking right now
Look,
because I have nobody to
I mean,
replace him with.
I'll be honest. I've been really thinking about trading for Fields on the low right now, especially with Trevor Lawrence, just because the ceiling I know is much higher.
Yeah,
But it's like, do I have enough time to use a valuable roster spot just in the hope that a breakout happens again?
Yeah, guess we'll
yeah.
find out.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out. So, uh, I mean, we can go with this player. We had, dang, I thought we had
We
another
all know
one.
what we're doing to Baker Mayfield. We're cutting
Yeah,
him.
Yeah, we're cutting.
I will say though, he has been getting the at least the touchdowns. This last week was probably his worst game, but
I mean,
it's not has been as bad as people thought it was going to be.
yeah.
The real player I wanted to put in here was Kenny Pickett. Is Kenny Pickett just a clear
Oh,
just
I'm
cut
cutting
right
Pickett
now?
too. Yeah.
Yeah, I at this point I'm cutting him. I'm not seeing a whole lot of the flash of talent anymore. It's he's getting lucky on a lot of stuff, and it's not
Well,
working
he's
out for
with
him.
Matt Cannon. So that's a
Yeah, I mean the play calling there in Pittsburgh has been awful. So it got a little better last week, but even then it wasn't great.
Yeah,
So
I
that may
agree.
be partially to blame, but it's just I'm not seeing a high level, well, at least worth a fantasy start. So
No, I totally get that from you. I think it makes sense. Let's hit over to running backs, because we got some questions here. Brees Hall, are you keeping? Are you trading? Or are you cutting?
Raid.
he,
Trade.
Raid.
trade away or trade for
I'm
Trade.
gonna
Oh,
say I'm trading away.
trade away, even
Yes.
because he was like a number one pick last year.
So
So are
yep.
you're not holding on to him?
here's
Nope.
why. Because what I will give credit to Mike LaFleur, as much as I don't think he helped develop Zach Wilson at all, the run game was there. And it's largely with the same group of guys. And I think Nathaniel Hackett is more towards the Aaron Rodgers kind of quarterback. So I think that not only hurts Brees, but on top of that, the O line is also a year older. Like Dwayne Brown, I think has just not looked good at all, personally, in my opinion. And I think from someone that's trying to come back from ACL to basically having much tighter boxes on him, I don't even think Zach Wilson or Trevor Simeon like moves the needle for me. I'm personally trading away and trying to get anything I can out of them because it's this or cut.
Mm. See, I still know he's got that talent. I think he's still coming off of that injury last year, and I don't know. It may be because I have him in my league. I'm a little more hopeful, but you know, that's just me.
Yeah, what you got?
On Brees.
Yes,
Yeah, I said I was going to trade him.
gotcha.
Yeah,
Um,
I believe in him. I don't trust anyone in New York's running back room.
nah, I
I
think
think
that
it's
that's
important to
fair.
them. I think all of
Oh
the
yeah,
running
right now there's no trust with him, but I'm holding on to him in the hopes that something happens to Dalvin Cook or Dalvin Cook doesn't come back next year and
Yeah,
it's Brees Hall's backfield. So
yeah,
because that
next year for
Aaron
sure.
Rodgers Aaron Rodgers comes back, it could be dangerous with Brees back there with him. So
maybe.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
could be, not
All
guaranteed.
he's done is carry an American flag. So
the oh man,
That's true.
it's still painful. It's only 3 weeks ago. Let's go with our next running back here, and Alvin Kamara.
I'm keeping him for
I'm
just for this,
I'm keeping him too.
only for this season.
Oh,
Yeah, only for this
absolutely.
season. And uh, see, I'd like to see a couple of games with him being, used, and then I'd trade him away while he's high.
While he's still
So
valuable, yeah. I
I
will
yeah,
say
while he's still valuable,
at
get some
64.
draft picks or a young developmental player and trade him away.
I I'm gonna make the argument of keeping him on your roster, and the biggest reason why is the running back injuries, like Saquon going down. There's JT, JK went down, and then Austin Eckler's been out since week 2. And I mean, we've talked about this already, but like the trying to find a running back in waivers, good luck.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
at this point, is if you made the investment that you were going to hold on to him for 3 weeks, I think even a 50% Alvin Kamara is better than no Kamara. So I do understand the trade away because you will get someone who probably is biting for the running back value, but I think you
Or
can make
maybe,
just as big of an argument as to keep him.
yeah. And it's all about how you want to play your game because, in Dynasty, you can either, go for that ship if your team looks good and you feel like they could take you there, cool. But if you've got an aging running back that might not be there next year, if he doesn't really perform this year, I mean, they drafted a pretty good replacement running back last
Yep,
year. So he might not be there next year or the year after. So
very
if
possible.
you can get something from it, trade him away and make your roster a little bit younger.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a win now move, for sure with Alvin Kamara. So I kind of want to put these next two players together: DeAndre Swift and Jameer Gibbs. Keeping, trading, or cutting.
I'm keeping both
I
Yeah,
am keeping both
keeping
as well.
both.
because you can see
Swift
the
looks
talent.
really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think they're both for different reasons though. But Jameer Gibbs is he's Travis Etienne. That's the situation. It's like they're giving all these carries to James Robinson, saying they're trying to get him ready. It's bull crap. Everyone can see the talent. Everyone can see what he can do. Everyone knows that he's special and that yeah, Monty isn't bad. He's an effort player, but Monty is not Jameer Gibbs, and it's not the other way around.
Yeah. So would you say that if you're giving a reason to hold on to Gibbs is the fact of one, no touchdowns yet for Gibbs, so we haven't had that experience. But two, it's each week it's only going to get better.
I think so. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I want to say right now that's early in the season he's going to keep getting better because he's kind of in this level flex range of like 10 to 12 points. Um, so I think towards the end of the season is when you might see him a little bit more. If not, it'll be next year for sure.
It just sucks without the touchdowns. That's really the issue right now.
But he is getting the pass,
yeah.
Yeah,
so that is something to be hopeful
See,
about.
okay, but my worry right now is that they gave Monty a 3-year pretty solid contract. So they intend to use him. And that was after they decided to um, take the running back or take Gibbs in the first round. I'm I'm concerned that Gibbs is not going to be used in an RB1 capacity on that offense.
I will say,
I think he definitely will. But go ahead, Josh.
I mean, so if we're looking at it right now, it was technically a 4-year deal, but but the last year of the deal is a void year.
Yeah.
So it's and the third year of his deal, there's no guaranteed salary with it too. So it's all within these next 2 years. As far as his contract is concerned, my bigger issue right now is that if the game gets out of hand and like Detroit's like just winning a lot, they will just not use Gibbs. So you actually
Saving.
kind of need a close game. And this doesn't help that you're replacing Josh Reynolds with Jameson Williams very quickly because we all thought it'd be 6 games. Now it just got
He got it reduced to 4, so he's back.
yeah, exactly. So
Mm-hmm.
that's my only fear. But I mean, let me look up
and just
Detroit's schedule
Bench
real
Josh
quick.
Reynolds for next week and see what it looks like for him.
yeah, that's my only concern with Gibbs is, they gave Monty a pretty fat contract, and I mean they're going to
think
want to use him.
Evaluation contract though, like they're seeing what Monty can do for them, but they're also seeing, all right, we used a first round pick on Gibbs.
Yeah,
What can he do?
yeah, but it might be an Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard type deal where, Tony Pollard sat behind Zeke for a couple of years, and then when Zeke aged out, they just allowed Tony Pollard, hey, this is your backfield now. So
And you know what's
they
funny?
might use them in that 1-2 punch role.
They weren't really using Tony Pollard till last year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
until it became
Yeah.
necessary.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
that's the
Until
fear,
it became
though.
necessary.
Like Ethan, for example, he took Gibbs with the 102, thinking it's going to be an immediate contribution, and right now you're just capped.
I didn't think it was going to be an immediate contribution. I thought he was going to be scaled, but Monty was going to be injured, which was going to increase that scale at which he was used. And I was kind of right. But then Ben Johnson, while Monty was away, was like, yeah, no, I actually genuinely hate America and football itself. So we'll see what happens going forward. But
Yeah, so
Okay, let's go ahead with. Oh, go ahead.
I mean, last thing on Swift, he's just electric. You can see that he's talented. It's
Yes.
everything
Yeah.
in Detroit.
Yeah, Swift is 100% keep. What you thought Miles Sanders was going to be last year is actually Swift. That would be my one note. But as far as Gibbs, here are his next few games before their bye week in week 9: Carolina, Tampa, Baltimore, Vegas. There are a few games there where it's going to be. Yeah, I mean Baltimore, I would even say Tampa are going to be close games. So hopefully,
They get it rolling.
exactly.
Especially since Arthur Smith hates Algier in the red zone as well, as much as Dan Campbell hates Gibbs in the red zone, which makes no sense.
Makes no sense at all. So let's
Yeah.
get. All right, I'm gonna just bring all of these in order here because I think there's a good conversation for all 3 receivers here. George Pickens, keep, trade, or cut?
Keep.
Yeah, I'm keeping Pickens.
I might be in the trade category. Talk me out of trading him.
Don't do it.
That's not helping.
Don't do it.
But what would be like the one thing, like for someone who
wide receiver, he's wide receiver 1 in Pittsburgh. He has the connection with Pickett. They just need to get it figured out offensively.
Yeah.
I think that starts with
if the play calling gets better in Pittsburgh, I think you're going to see that Pickens Pickett connection, and I think they'll light it up. But it all boils down to that play calling.
Ryan, that is a big if as far as the play calling.
Big if.
All right, keep, trade, or cut Jahan Dotson.
Trade.
Cut.
I'm trading for those middle round picks. Somebody else who wants to try and take him.
That's
as a
honestly, as far as in Dynasty League getting the value, totally see it.
But I mean, if you need the
Yeah.
roster spot, I understand cutting.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Keep trade or cut Mike Evans. Is this going to be a season long thing, or or will y'all capitalize?
Trade.
I am
Trade,
trade as well.
capitalize on his big games and just get him off your roster, get
Trade him
somebody
like
young and or a lot of draft picks.
Yep, I'm right there with you on the trade there. And then I only have two tight ends. Actually, I know Ethan and I have already said capitalize, or Donald Parham was one, but I don't even think that's even worth a mention. The one tight end I do want to talk about is Dallas Goddard.
he's a key
Trade. He's a keep.
Keep
because
keep
they are
100%.
manufacturing for him. And so
Yeah.
eventually that manufacturing, if they say, hey, this guy's important to us and they're actively manufacturing, he's like Pittman. I think a lot of people were worried about Pittman, and then you saw how much they're manufacturing for him, and it's like, we can't really trade this guy because they're
He's
they're
getting enough
making
to where, like, if you went boom or bust with Kyle Pitts, like that's where I think you would love to have a Dallas Goddard where there's just like I'm guaranteed 7 to 8 points.
Yeah. I think Pitts is gonna get better, but maybe not by much.
It's
They
tough
just need
out
to move
here.
to
I
outside
don't know.
That's
Pitts
what
has burned me so much.
if they
I'm
put Pitts at outside receiver, they'd be chilling.
possibly. I've just been burned by him so much. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Ryan.
Ryan, there is one thing I do want to talk to you about. What is your big question?
All right. My big question. So after this first couple of weeks, is Zach Moss an imposter or the real deal in Indy? At least until JT gets back. So this week,
Yeah, with
possibly next week, if JT doesn't even return, he could be a pretty solid pickup for a lot of people.
they are expecting JT to be gone by week 5.
Yeah, what was the report? I read something where they said like JT and Colt still nowhere to be like nowhere close on deal.
Yeah. He is back
well,
at the
and yeah, and I gotta say, like, if Zach Moss keeps this up, that's huge leverage for Indy to get rid of JT and just prey on a rookie running back next draft. Essentially, like what they could do is just draft a high running back next year and just lean on Zach Moss this year.
Here's the one issue I do see with that, and this is something we probably should talk about in the off season. I am curious as to what the JT repercussions would be because it's so public. Like if I was a top running back, right? Like say I'm Blake Corum out of Michigan, and the Colts draft me first. Do I still play for the Colts?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And because it's like my window to get paid is so short already, and I already know you're not paying me, so what's up? It's like So that's the one thing I do see that could be a potential issue.
Well, and you can see a lot of incoming rookies at least high end, first, maybe even second round rookies, potentially signing guaranteed deals for their rookie deal. That we saw a couple of them this year, rookies signing fully guaranteed 4-year deals, or at least mostly guaranteed. So, we could see an uptick in that as a way of like franchises saying, hey, we want you here and we're going to pay you.
See, what's crazy, they just need to budge a little bit. But to answer your question, I do think Zach Moss without JT is the real deal.
Yeah.
But I do think, again, I think JT is going to be gone next week, or he'll be playing for the Colts.
Yeah, that's I do think they're very concerned, especially since Anthony Richardson got concussed because he had to run the ball. So to me, that's always been the sticking point of, hey, you have a running back who you don't want to pay, but is willing to take those hits for you. So,
but is willing to save the future of your QB.
exactly. And
Yeah,
so I mean, there's that perspective. The other perspective is there's a there is a team that needs a running back,
There are lots of them.
and there are lots of them. I mean, obviously Miami called, but and they're doing fine with Mostert and Achan.
Yeah, but
But
Jesus Christ, imagine if they had JT.
yeah, but like I'm just trying to think of like the other teams. Baltimore, I think, would love to have JT over Melvin Gordon
yeah.
and Kenyon Drake.
Well, over the carousel of running backs that they've
I
had
would
over the last
I
couple
mean
of
I would
years.
even say Pittsburgh would be interested.
Yeah, Pittsburgh did call about him.
Yeah, so I
That
mean,
would have been interesting to see.
yeah, obviously like you're not going to give him up to Tennessee, but I mean, as far as it's really just the NFC, I'm kind of more concerned about. Like, do the Vikings think about it, even though they traded for Cam
Yeah,
Akers?
Vikings.
Do even I mean the Saints could be a very legit
Oh,
possibility. Yes,
Bills called as well.
yep. Bills are another
Yeah.
team. James Cook has been fine. I mean, you wish you see another touchdown, but so far it has been fine.
The Bears called, Chiefs called.
Yeah, Chiefs. I could
Yeah.
totally see Chiefs. I could totally see Bears. I mean, Packers have tried as well. So I
I
mean,
mean, there's a surprising amount of teams in the NFL right now that are kind of hurting for RBs.
Yeah,
So, next year we could see a big running back market in the draft. So,
there's not many
who
coming out.
knows?
yeah, not many
I
coming
know.
out. This was the year to get one. So
Yeah.
that's a
It'll
tough
it'll
one.
be interesting. I think we'll see a lot more coming out of the woodwork, like Kyron Williams, not drafted very high, but obviously has the talent to be an RB1.
I think
So
to kind of add an amendment or an addendum, whatever. It starts with an A. I don't remember what the word is. I didn't even major in English, whatever. But I think when it comes to late round running backs, I think I noticed the trend of like it has to be the perfect scheme fit in order for a late
yeah,
round running back to be the
Yeah,
guy.
like Algier.
Algier is a perfect example, but even Kamara, like Kamara was a third round
hmm
Yeah,
pick,
Kamara too.
yeah.
and I think if you're gonna
Javante was too, I think. Wasn't he third round? Javante Williams?
no, he was second.
Okay.
Michael Carter was a fourth, but he kind of fit that LaFleur scheme better. I'm trying to. Oh, Pacheco was a seventh round pick, but he fits what the Chiefs want to do perfectly, which is
Yeah.
you manufacture your own yards. So I do know. I mean, I think if you want to have a an advantage at the position, definitely go up for a running back, like first, second round, so on and so forth. But if you want to hit on the late round running back, it has to be a schematic fit, or else it you can't just take for let's go with the Vikings example. You can't just take Ty Chandler, Dwayne McBride into any offense and go, and they'll get the same yards as our star running back.
Oh
They
yeah,
just they
yeah, of
have to fit
course.
the system like way better. And so I think, especially maybe in a fantasy sense, I think one we should have realized that Sykin's offense is really good for running backs, and so Zach Moss was going to do good. But also, I think it shows that a late round running back success has to be married to a schematic fit.
Yeah.
All right. All
All right.
right, Ethan.
Yes, guys, who is your way too early rookie of the year?
After Thursday night's performance, it is Sam Laporta, and it's not close.
If he keeps up, yeah. I mean, obviously,
He's three.
Bijan, Bijan, I mean,
Bijan.
has been showing up.
Bijan at 10.
Um, if if
Maybe.
Anthony Richardson, if Anthony Richardson had not been concussed and or goes off over the next couple of weeks, he would be a front runner for me. Um, Also, I want to point out, um, well, actually, that's the next segment. So I'll wait. I'll wait. But those are kind of my way too early rookie. Yeah. rookie of the year.
I will give my reasons very quickly for Sam Laporta. We know for a fact that with tight ends coming like into the rookie season, there is a steep learning curve you have to learn. And with Sam Laporta, it's not only meeting that learning curve, it's also exceeding it. To the fact
Yeah.
that we're having a rookie tight end produce is actually such an anomaly, but everyone in fantasy just doesn't care about the tight end position unless you have Andrews or Kelsey. That we should actually be keeping a very close eye on what Sam Laporta is doing because it is something
Yeah.
unseen, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
And
agree.
the other thing is, who are you looking to pick up on the waiver wire that's a rookie?
I mean, he might have been picked up already. I actually just had to trade for him. Tank Dell.
Yep, I picked him up in our ESPN
Yep.
league. I have no idea.
I agree with that. Tank Dell.
I picked him.
That's who I was just gonna pick
I
earlier.
picked him and Stroud. I want the stack. I think Stroud has,
Yeah.
besides
But
Anthony Richardson, has been the best rookie quarterback.
I think definitely Quentin Johnson too.
Oh, yep. I will say the only thing stopping me from getting Quentin Johnson right now in an ESPN league, as and I'll shade Paul a little bit. This is the league I'm paying for as far as my undefeated success in our dynasty league. But I'm 0-3 in one league, and I really thought about getting Quentin Johnston because I just need the home run threat. Like Quentin Johnson fits all
Yeah.
the check marks, the check boxes there, checks all the boxes.
Well,
The
and
reason
with
boxes on
Mike
Mike
Williams being
Williams,
down for the year, that is going to give a huge boost to Quentin Johnston and Josh Palmer too.
so here's the reason why I went Tank Dell over Johnston. I think if you need points right now as a fantasy owner, you say you're 0-3, you're really struggling, you just need a boomer bust success. That's, I mean, me here in that league because I just also benched David Montgomery as he goes over 20 again. But
Yeah, that was rough.
Tank Dell has
I
shown,
really thought he was going to get injured though.
yeah, I really thought I was going to have maybe 32 carries right after your injury. Of course, that just makes all the sense in the world. Not tilted at all. But Josh Palmer is a more immediate need if you're 0-3. But if you're like 2-1, 3-0, and you can afford to stash Quentin Johnson, by all means, if you stash him right now, he might be a league winner by the end of the year.
Do it. Gentlemen, dream lineups. What are your dreams? What are your hopes, prayers, thoughts?
My hope and prayer is to win this week. That's it.
My hope
Same.
and prayer relies in the necklaces and chains of one Kirko chain. So give me Kirk Cousins at QB.
I mean, I just caught a 40.
All right. I mean, he has been so solid. I like it. I'm going with Justin Herbert versus Las Vegas.
That's a good
Yeah,
pick. Ooh, just
Just
cut
how
Chandler Jones.
powerful. Yeah, a powerful offense versus a pretty Swiss cheese-esque defense.
yeah. I'm taking Kirko again. I mean, they just have too good of a matchup this week to lose.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So starting RB1.
I got Bijan. Going
All
up
right.
against
I like it.
Jacksonville. I mean, Jacksonville's it. So here's one thing I wanted to bring up as far as the Toy Story game, as I'm going to call it. What transfers over, and I'm going to do more research on this, but this is how I have generally viewed London, is that if you have a strong team running game, that transfers over to London way better than passing teams.
Mm-hmm.
And so because of that, I am leaning Atlanta winning that game. But I do think Bijan has a big game.
Yeah.
Okay. My RB1 is Josh Jacobs. So I think the game versus LAC, they're going to use him in the passing game a lot more. That he needs a blow up game. He needs a breakout game this year. He's been
Please.
very mediocre looking. I want to see my boy run.
Well,
That's
I mean,
it. The
that's
league leading rusher last year, and he's just looked like
I mean,
booty.
here's what I will say. I think this is the week to do it. Jimmy G has just been ruled out. So it's Aiden O'Connell. It should be Aiden O'Connell. If it's Brian Hoyer, I might punch air. But I think either way, the fact that Jimmy G is out, yeah, it's time for Jacobs to remind everyone that he's a top 10 running back in the league.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sticking with CMC. CMC till the wheels fall off.
For 3 weeks in a row, bro.
But I wanted to
do it.
I
was going to go away this week.
Hey,
but
it's all reliable. All right.
So my only reason, because I did not want to do him this week, but when here I'm gonna pull up the matchup. When my dude is playing, let's see.
He plays Arizona, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's Arizona. So when dude is playing Arizona, it's like, come on. I'm taking.
Yeah, see, I understand that. I just don't know if
what I will say
they'll
is
definitely use him. They'll definitely use him, but I have a feeling that Elijah Mitchell is going to be in for a little while near the end of the game if they start to, blow him out.
I thought of that, but I also thought Arizona's defense should not be taken lightly. They have been way better than advertised, and as awkward as Jonathan Gannon may be to some people, including me, he has them playing actually really good, in my opinion, for what they have.
Yeah. But RB2, I need to give flowers to a man who's been doing it every week, and that's Mostert.
RB1. I think he's RB1.
Yeah, he's RB1 in our league.
I can tell you in 1 second.
And I mean, we've already talked about him. I technically have Josh Jacobs as a tier 2 back just because I didn't know what the
his by 7 points over CMC.
Wow.
Followed by Monty, but only because he just had
my RB2 is Zach Moss. Because if he keeps rolling like this, do it, dude.
You might as well.
Especially versus the Rams. I mean, they're using him all over the field. So
I will say what really I was watching the Rams Bengals game, which angered me to my core, to where I started rage training, and that was almost near disaster. But what I did notice out of that Rams defense is that teams are really banking on running for AD to get tired, so he gets taken off the field, then you do your damage. That's how Cincinnati played the game, which I thought was pretty smart. And I do expect Zach Moss to kind of do the same thing.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys.
Okay. Is that everybody's running backs?
Yep, everyone's running backs. So y'all have, I'm going to just say y'all's pick at wide receiver. Y'all are going JJ, Justin Jefferson. I went in a different direction. I am taking a shot here, but
you're taking the shot I tried last week.
Yeah, give me Devontae. They're going up against Washington.
That's your wide receiver too, right? Just for clarity's sake.
He was technically in my tier 1, so I put him in my wide receiver 1 spot.
I'm not willing to concede Keenan Allen yet, but I'm just giving you.
Well, I had Keenan Allen in my tier 2. That's why I'm keeping it. But if we want to flip it for tier sake, I am willing to have that conversation.
No, I'm just giving you crap. No, Devontae looks really good. He's getting the targets. Yeah,
it's just the touchdowns. He'll get a touchdown. And that throw him in.
See, my wide receiver 2 is Michael Pittman. I mean, to me, with Anthony Richardson coming back, they had that connection, and I loved it. I loved watching it the first couple of weeks.
Which makes me because he is so good.
Yeah, and they have that connection. I hope it shines this week.
Yeah.
All right, tight ends.
I have Adams. That's my wide receiver too. Just briefly, and he loves.
I thought you already commented on it.
Loves him some Aiden O'Connell.
Okay, mine is Evan Ingram in Atlanta. But is this the London game?
Yep, it's not just the London
it's the early game.
Yep.
Okay,
So
All
I'll
right.
be up at
All right.
8:30 for all of your Falcons and Jaguars needs.
What Toy Story character is Evan Ingram?
Oh God, I don't know. What is he?
I want to say he's Slinky, but that might be more Kyle Pitts.
No, yeah. It's Kyle Pitts.
We've already called Arthur Smith as Wheezy.
No. Mr.
The Penguin.
Okay. Pitts is Mr. Potato Head.
And then Evan Ingram could be Slinky. I'm cool with that. Let's lock it in. Did y'all see the photo of someone did a promo?
Oh my gosh, wait. Would that make Trevor Lawrence Bo Peep?
Or is Trevor Lawrence Woody?
No, he's definitely not Woody.
So wait, what's Desmond Ritter? Who's Desmond Ritter?
Oh my God. You guys are jokers.
Because ETN is Duke Kaboom,
Nice.
the Daredevil guy. Calvin, I've been trying to figure out Calvin Ridley. I haven't been able to find a good one yet.
Dez is probably just one of the toy soldiers, like the green soldiers.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Or the pig.
No,
The
he's
piggy
Ken.
thing.
He's Ken
Ken, jeez.
from the Ken Barbie doll from Toy Story
Oh
3.
my God. Oh my gosh.
Anyways,
Okay. All right. So let's go on to our flex.
well, I mean, we need our tight ends. I'm taking Kelsey.
Oh, I thought
I
you
am
already.
taking
Sorry, I
Kelsey
thought
as
you guys
well.
already talked
Tay
about it.
is gonna sneak into the box, so
Okay. All right.
Yep. I just gotta roll with Kelsey while he's on this incredible wave.
But my flex is
It's a real
Oshie.
love story.
I was thinking about throwing it out, but I want to give it a chance for a week, see if any magic is still there. And if not, cool. I'll have a different one for next week, but it's my dream. All right, it's my dream.
Okay.
I'm,
Okay.
I'm gonna steal part of your dream because I originally had another person here as my first flex, but if Bryce Young is starting, I am not doing that. But give me Tank Dell. Let's ride this thing.
Ooh. Tank Dell's my last flex too. I love Tank Dell so much. He's probably my favorite draft edition that I got from this last class. And I just hope he keeps going.
Yeah, no, he's been incredible, to be quite honest with you, and so has Stroud. Ryan, who is your flex?
Okay. I have Devontae Adams as my flex, but we could flip obviously my wide receiver too, Pittman and
Yeah.
him.
So
That's fair. That
Because
counts.
I had other people in there until like we started the podcast, and I was really thinking like
Jamar Chase is
you
a
can't
wide
change
receiver
it until
too.
you say it. Okay?
Yeah, but now you're just doing the whole game wrong with Jamar Chase and your wide
Oh my
receiver
God.
2 lineup.
Shush.
Hold on.
All
We
right.
might need to release the
Hey,
our group
I
chat
was sick.
receipts.
I was sick that day, okay? I couldn't do it.
You're sick.
I hadn't set my
Jamar
lineup
Chase
that
has been
day.
sneaking up his fantasy
Yeah.
lineups every week. He's hurt.
Dude.
He's
All right.
crying.
He,
Jamar Chase is a wide
No. But for real.
Okay,
But
yeah.
for real, I'm doing Devontae Adams. I'll put him in as my wide receiver too, because
But
I
then-
had him fairly low this year with Jimmy G,
I mean,
but
fairly
he's
soon
shown
now,
up.
that is fair.
Pittman's gonna be
I mean,
Pittman's
but
gonna
Yeah.
Pittman will be my flex, and maybe we can do a mid-season reevaluation of our tier list,
I think that would be
and we can
I
talk
think
about
we
it.
need to do that because I think this year
Okay.
has flipped things upside down.
Maybe we'll probably post that sometime over the next couple of weeks, whenever we
Yeah.
find time. But we'll do a
I like that
reevaluation of our
idea.
tier list. Because there are some, tier like 2 or 3 guys that have been vaulted up to tier 1,
Well, yeah,
Yep.
like Keenan,
or could be
Tyler.
considered tier 1s. So
Mike Evans,
we'll
Debo.
do the reevaluation of our tier list here in a couple of weeks, and we'll post it so you guys know. But for now, Pittman will be in my flex, and I'll have Devontae Adams as my wide receiver too.
Wide receivers have
Um,
weird this year.
Really
I
weird.
know,
I
really
want to talk
weird.
about this after the episode, but
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
talk about it later. But um, my second flex is somebody that kind of just showed up. And we've
tank,
already talked about him a little bit, but
firing on
Tank,
all cylinders.
Tank,
big old Tank Dell.
Tank Dell, baby.
So yeah, we kind of already talked about him a little bit, but I like the way he's been playing. I like his connection with CJ Stroud. So
Yeah.
I hope he just continues that this week.
Yeah, Ryan, I want to go back to your point of like an established name being in the flex spot feeling a little weird because that's my last flex. It feels that exact same way, and that's Alvin
Yeah,
Kamara. He might be on the snap count, I know, but unfortunately, neither Jamal Williams, neither Kendrick Miller really took a stranglehold of the running back spot in Kamara's
or any type
absence.
of hold.
Yeah, any type of hold for that matter. So I think it's going to be Kamara till the wheels fall off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And that
I
I think
agree.
is week 4, gentlemen.
that is week
Yep.
4.
So thank you all again for listening to
Wake
a
up
very
early.
wake up early tomorrow for sure. But thank you for a very
For
late
sure.
edition of the Last Place Fantasy Football Podcast. Don't forget to watch Toy Story with us and have a good old time. Andy's coming. We'll all just flop on the ground too. Why not? But uh don't forget to find us on all platforms at Last Place FP. We're on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, especially. And we're going to be kind of following, giving us you updates. Ethan said it perfectly. Don't forget to wake up early tomorrow. The London games are starting. Things are about to get very funky
The
as far
British are
as
coming.
like
So
to.
fantasy football.
Okay, Ethan Paul Revere, and um,
It's me.
but besides that, thank you all again for listening to week 4. Ethan Paul Revere, what do you have to say?
Never forget. Sometimes you're right. Sometimes you suck and are named Ryan.
Have a good one, everybody, and we will see y'all for week 5.